being Bulls fans here in Chicago, we know what April 28th, 2012 means for us. Like we do. That's the day Derrick tore his ACL. That dude. I swear the entire city just went silent.
They grown men in Chicago.
Yeah. So can you liken the injuries and what has happened to Kris Bryant and what he meant and what he signaled in the rebuild? Can you liken that to what kind of happened with Derrick Rose and what we thought was going to be coming down the road for that Bulls team and the Bulls organization? You got the world championship, but if Kris Bryant continues to be MVP Kris Bryant and continues to ascend, don't you think there are more championships on the north side? Like the Bulls never got one.
Good question. I think if Derrick tears it the next year and they win in 12, I think you can make that comparison.
Okay.
The problem is the Bulls didn't win.
Right.
So it's more. It's hard to compare because the Cubs reached the ultimate goal.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So as bad as it would be if Kris peaked in 2018, which I don't think he did. I think just a lot of things have happened to him since. Yeah, I think as a Cubs fan, you can be disappointed with the trajectory, but you can't be upset because that guy helped you reach the ultimate goal.
Right.
And I think with Derrick, there's other things with Derrick that still, even to this day, almost a decade later, I don't think people really understand why that guy is important in the history of the city.
Why he's an icon.
Yeah.
Without
he means so much to this city. From high school to even in his grade school days, and I think for me, I grew up when Derrick was at Simeon, and I remember going to high school games when I was in like 6th, 7th grade, 7th, 8th grade.
Yeah,
and I'm like, this dude is going to be crazy in the NBA, and like it's for me like a lot of people had when KG was going to school here, or Isaiah was going to school here.
Yeah.
And so those guys it's just a different feeling that you have with those guys. So regardless of what Derrick's career ends up being, regardless if he goes to the Hall of Fame or not, regardless of if the Bulls ever retire his number, he holds a spot in the hearts of people in this city that I don't know will ever be replicated.
Yeah.
You know, but to get back to the Kris Bryant comparison, because they reached that goal of winning, while you don't like how it ended, you can't say that you didn't benefit from that guy's peak because you won. You got the ultimate goal. The guy won an MVP, Rookie of the Year. Like his 5-year span, if that's his peak, was crazy. He went Golden Spikes winner, best player in college baseball, to minor league player of the year his first year, playing pro ball. To Rookie of the Year, his first year in the big leagues, to his second year in the big leagues, won an MVP and World Series. Like, that doesn't happen. Like that, if we're just going off of that ends in Hall of Famer.
Most people would say, man, it might be too much too soon.
Yeah.
Like, man, we could insert this right here. It's amazing to me. There are like anomalies in sports because it's not supposed to happen like that, right?
Not at all.
It's not supposed to happen like it happened for Derek Jeter. It's not supposed to happen like it happened for Wayne Gretzky. It's not supposed to happen like it happened for Tom Brady. It's not supposed to happen like it happened for Kobe Bryant. Like, these superstars are supposed to struggle for 5, 6, 7 years before they reach the mountaintop. Like, the players that are superstars that get to come in to the right organization with the great head coach and another superstar that can help them win as they ascend to their peak. So they add to their resume. Like, they're anomalies. And for me, I just feel like Derrick Rose and Kris Bryant, if neither one of them got hurt, the city of Chicago from a sports landscape possibly might have had the two best players in the prospective sports at the same time, which is crazy.
Yeah, I think with Derrick, man,
And then I think the equal thing, before you say that, I think what makes the Kris Bryant thing similar to me, I always thought the way the media started to turn on him, and I think he added to that with some of his comments, with frustration about his injuries and some of the things he said. But I just felt like it got to a point where, all right, we're being petty. Like, we can pinpoint why his production has taken this drop. It's not like he's out boozing it up or just being an idiot or not working or not putting in the work. We know he's been injured. Like, why Derrick's play has tailed off a little bit. We saw the knee injuries. So it's like, now we're just being petty because we can. Because if they hadn't gotten injured, whatever it is we're being petty about, we probably would leave it alone just because of their greatness.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, I think people, we don't talk about a lot the impact him getting hit in the face had on him.
Facts.
Like, that's something that I look back as a moment where it's like, that changed him.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to have that to compare it to something, when Giancarlo Stanton got hit in the face when his last years in Miami,
right,
it took him probably 2 years to get back to the player he ended up being. Now, he went on to win an MVP, but when he got hit in the face, like, if you're a player that has to stand in that box every day and your life flashes before your eyes like that, you start thinking about everything. Like, man, my wife's still out there, my kids, they might not have their dad, I might not be able to see again. Like, I could be out right here on the ground. And then it's like, man, I got to get back in here, and people are expecting me to be this MVP caliber player like I was, where I can't come out and say that I'm scared to get back in the box, but I'm scared to get back in the box. Like, there's so many different things that happen. And so when Kris got hit in the face, they were already, he had that shoulder in that same season. And so there was just a lot that's happened, and things have kind of snowballed for him, because it went from that to 2019 where he had some injuries, and this year was crazy. So yeah, I think there's just been a lot that snowballed for Kris. And you could tell in talking to him that, the enjoyment wasn't there all the time for him. Like, baseball felt like a chore. And I don't mean that in a way where, like, he didn't want to go out and play the game, but it's just like, that's a guy who's one of the nicest dudes you ever talk to, who loves life. He has a kid now, loves being married. Like, that's just a genuinely good dude that looked like each day coming to the ballpark was a struggle. So then you add on top of that this criticism that he's never had, because this is not a guy who's ever been the villain before.
Everything's been easy for him. Yeah.
Never been a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Who's been turned into a villain. And it's like, wait a minute, where did this come from? Like, I can't, my body turned on me. I didn't turn on it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything.
Right.
So with all those things, I think that's a part of the Kris Bryant story that we don't talk about as much.